Children begin by loving their parents. As they grow older, they judge them. Sometimes they forgive them. Welcome back to Bilal Hamza YouTube channel, where you speak the uncomfortable truths, the buried emotions, and the hidden thoughts most people are too afraid to voice. Today, we are diving into a topic that is both deeply personal and painfully universal. Why do so many youngsters grow up secretly hating their parents but can't admit it? We're not here to promote hate or disrespect, but we are here to understand the pain, to unpack the reality, to give voice to generation that silently carries emotional scars caused by the very people who were supposed to love and protect them the most. Because the truth is, many parents were never truly parents. They were rulers, performers, controllers, or worse, emotional abusers disguised as caregivers. Let's take a deep breath and dive into the harsh truth. When we think of childhood, we are taught to remember it as a joyful time cartoons, playgrounds, birthdays, and love. But that's not the reality for everyone. Many children were not raised, they were handled. Many of you listening grew up being yelled at for crying, punished for expressing emotions, or ignored when you truly needed comfort. Let's be honest. How many of us were hit, slapped, or insulted when you made a mistake instead of being taught how to improve? How many of us were told, stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about? How many of us mocked in front of guests, not knowing why our humiliation was suddenly comedy? This is emotional damage, masked as parenting. Here is the part most people never admit. You're not raised to be independent, you are raised to entertain. Parents would dress you up and show you off like a trophy, force you to perform poems or songs in front of guests like a circus act. Record your moments of crying or panic and laugh at you instead of holding you. Ignore your dreams and force their unfulfilled wishes upon you, using you as a second chance at their own failed life. When you were sad or struggling, they minimized it. Oh, what do you have to be depressed about? You have food, you have clothes. You become a source of amusement, not a soul to be nurtured. And deep inside, as a child, you knew it. You felt the emptiness, but you couldn't explain it. So you learned to smile through it, bury it, normalize it. Until now. Many parents didn't raise you with love, they raised you with fear. And why? Because fear gives control. You couldn't say no without punishment. You couldn't ask why without being labeled disrespectful. You were not allowed to disagree, dream, or even think differently. Every decision was because I said so. They never truly saw you. They saw a version of you they could control, manipulate, and shape in their image, even if it destroyed your spirit. So, what happens? You grew up resenting them, but feeling guilty about it. You carry a storm inside your chest because you are told they did everything for you. But what if they did everything to you? Admitting you resent or hate your parents is bad in most cultures. You are taught they gave you life, they sacrificed everything. No one loves you more than your parents. But here is the twist. Sacrifice doesn't equal love. A lot of parents did the bare minimum, provided food, shelter, school, but gave zero emotional support, zero listening, zero nurturing. And still, you can't complain. Why? Because you are scared of being judged, scared of hurting them, scared of being called ungrateful. So instead, you distance yourself emotionally. Avoid deep conversations. Move out but never really heal. You carry your pain in silence, pretending everything is fine. But deep inside, You feel abandoned by people who were physically present and emotionally absent. Let's go even deeper. Parents may not have intentionally wanted to be villains, but their actions spoke louder than love. Here are subtle ways many parents made their children grow to resent them. 1. Constant criticism. Nothing was ever enough. 90% on a test, why not 100%? You became your mistakes. 2. Comparison with others. You were never as good as your cousin. This killed your confidence and identity. 3. Withholding affection. You were only loved when you obeyed, not when you were hurting. 4. Mocking sensitivity. If you cried or felt too deeply, you were weak, girly, or dramatic. 4. Destroying dreams. If your passions didn't align with their expectations, they crushed them. 6. Blaming you for their sacrifices. I gave up everything for you, as if you asked to be born. All of this creates one outcome: children who grow up confused, angry, emotionally distant, and guilty for feeling that way. So many of you listening are what I call emotional orphans. Your parents were there, but their love had conditions. You only felt accepted when you performed. You only felt safe when you were silent. You only felt seen when you succeeded. Otherwise, you were a burden, a disappointment, a problem. And now, as adults, you struggle with self worth, have toxic relationships, seek approval from everyone, feel guilty for setting boundaries. This is the legacy of emotional neglect, and it is one of the most dangerous forms of silent trauma. Now comes the real work: healing. Because the sad truth is, most parents will never admit what they did. They will never say, I hurt you, I made you feel small, I invalidated your feelings. But that's okay, because your healing doesn't require their apology. Here's how you can begin. 1. Acknowledge the pain. Stop gaslighting yourself. What you felt was real. 2. Speak your truth. Journal, talk to a therapist, or just say it out loud. Your story matters. 3. Set emotional boundaries. Love doesn't mean access. You can love from a distance. 4. Break the cycle. If you become a parent, don't repeat what broke you. 5. Reparent yourself. Learn to be the adult you needed as a child. Give yourself the love, validation, and freedom you were denied. Let me say this clearly. You're not ungrateful. You are honest. And honesty is the beginning of healing. To every listener who silently cried during this episode, who felt seen, who remembered childhood wounds they buried, you're not alone. There is no shame in acknowledging pain. There is only growth in doing so. Let's build a new world, one where children are healed, not just seen, where parents learn, not just lecture, where love is not control and respect is mutual. Thank you for being brave enough to listen to this. This is Bilal Hamza, and here we talk about what others don't. Until next time, take care of your inner child. Peace and love, Hamza.